Morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
sir.
sir.
Good morning. So let us will start the lecture. Today we are going to start the sequencing problem. Sequencing problem. Shall we start? 10:05. Okay, we'll start. Go
Yes,
to
sir.
students while they will join the lecture. Okay, you assume that you are working as a manager in the production, manufacturing, and automobile industry. The sequencing problem is the real life problem which is applicable in the production, manufacturing, and automobile industries. Not limited to these three industries, it may be applicable in any other industries where the jobs are performed on different machines. The name itself suggests that the sequencing. So here in sequencing problem, as a manager, you have to take a decision how the jobs to be arranged or how a jobs to be processed. Say under sequencing problem, we are going to discussing the different types of problems. The first type of problem is n jobs and two machines. The first type of problem is n job and two machines. The second type of problem we have to discuss the n jobs and three machines. And the third type of problem which we are going to discuss under sequencing problem is n jobs and m machines. And while discussing these problems, we have to comparison of prior anticipation rules which are already defined. If we are going to solve the problems, we will discuss it. So this is only these are the contents which are included in your syllabus. So today we will finish this content concepts. The first type of problem is say there are n jobs and two machines. It means that in an organization there are n number of jobs, but we are having only two machines. The, there are some assumptions, some certain assumptions are there. In brief, I will discuss the assumptions. But keep in mind, as a manager, each and every job is processed on a machine in a order, and that order we have to decide. While deciding the order, again we are going to then the manager is applying the logic, right? Some mathematical ordering techniques are going to be applied by the manager to process the job in a order. Suppose there are five jobs and two machines, so each and every job has to be processed on two different machines. And while processing the machine, the order is mentioned in the problem. Either you process the job in a given order, or maybe the order is going to be changed. Suppose there are two machines, so machine A and machine B. So while processing the job should be processed firstly on machine A and then on machine B. Right? Say for example, machine A is assembly machine and machine B is once the assembly is over, then we have to go for polishing or coloring. So that is why here the condition is the job should be processed in an order of machine. If the order is mentioned A, B, that means first A machine, then second B machine. In that case, we have to process in order. If order is not mentioned, if order is mentioned B, A, then first job is processed on B machine and then A machine. The ultimate goal behind this sequencing problem while processing the n number of jobs on either two machine, three machine or m machine to reduce the idle time, right? Or it is also called an elapsed time. Elapsed time is the time between the two machines, waiting time between the two machines, right? So the final goal of sequencing problem is to try try to reduce the idle time of machine, so that if you reduce the idle time, then the 100% utilization of machine will be processed, and if you are using the 100% utilization of resources, then ultimately your profit level is going to be increased. That is why as a manager, you should have to take care that no machine should left idle, and in which process the job is to be processed. So this solution will be given by a sequencing problem. This is the basic of the sequencing problem, nothing else more than this. Now here, suppose there are n jobs we perform on J machine. As I said, there are n jobs. Say for example, 5 jobs are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jobs are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these 5 jobs we have to process on J machine. Say J is equal to vary from 1 to 2, 1 and 2, A and B, 2 machines. So the 5 jobs to be processed on 2 different machines, and processing of job, that order is defined. Each job is requiring to process on some or all machines. Now here keep in mind, it is not mandatory to process each and every job on every machine. There may be in some cases, in some jobs, it is an optional, but the order of processing will remain same. So each job is processed on either one machine or on all machines. Effectiveness, why we are going to processing this job, what is to be measured? So the effectiveness of time, cost or mileage can be measured for giving any sequencing problem. Now in the problem, they have specified the how much time is taken by a particular job to process on a particular machine. So time duration is already given, and based on that we have to schedule, we have to sequence the jobs. It is always possible to select the best possible sequence by testing each one each, that is n factorial multiplied by m. For example, again, if I use the 5 jobs are there. So if you have to process the 5 job, the order may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe the order is changed 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, maybe something else 3, 2, 1, 4, 5. So all possible permutation and combinations are used to process the job, and this ordering of a job should be applied by using the technique, that is sequencing technique. How the job is to be ordered, which job is to be processed first. The logically, if you think the machine which is taking, the job which is taking a very less time should be processed first. The job which is taking a less time which will be processed first, then the second less time, third, fourth, like this the order is going to be established. A definition of a sequencing problem is, suppose there are n jobs and jobs are vary from 1 to n, each of which has to be processed one at a time. See, again assumption A, the multiple jobs cannot be processed at a time on a single machine. One job has to be processed at a time on a one machine. So it has to be processed one at a time at each of m machine. And machines are, say for example, A, B, C, D, so on. There are m number of machines. The order of processing each job through machine is given. Say, first of all, manager, he or she has to decide in what order the job is to be processed. And again, as I said, the ordering of job, there is some logic, there is some techniques which we apply with the help of example. The time that each job must require on each machine is known. Yes, in advance it is given how much time is taken of each job on each machine is separately given, and depending upon that time the manager is deciding the which job to be processed the first. The problem is to find. What is the problem? Problem is to find the sequence. What is the sequence? Just as I said, the n factorial divided by n factorial multiplied by m. That means the permutation, all possible permutations and combinations. The factorial means 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. That many possible combinations, permutation and combinations are there in case of processing the jobs. All possible sequences for processing the job so that what happens? So that the total elapsed time for all jobs will be minimized. So that the total elapsed time for all jobs should be minimized. If you process the job in this way, then and then this sequencing technique tells us that the whatever time taken or whatever the total elapsed time, that is the minimum elapsed time. There is some idle time, but it should be a minimum, and that minimizing the total elapsed time job has to be done by the manager. So here mathematically, just I will explain AI. AI means the time for job I on machine A. Actual time in hours, in day, or in month, or in year, whatever it is, right? Minutes, hours, day, the time. AI. That means time for a job I on machine A. Similarly, time for a ith job on machine B. That means if I would like to process the first job on A machine, then how much time is required? If I want to process the ith job on ith means first job on machine A, then how much time is required? If I would like to process the first job on B machine, then how much time is required? Like this, if I would like to process the first job on C machine, how much time is to be required? Like this, for each and every job, the time is given, processing time is given on a particular machine. T notation. What is this T? The time from start of first job to the completion of the last job. That means the total time taken by the particular job to process on all the machine. T indicate that the total time from start and A. Then the problem is determined for each machine a sequence of job. A sequence of job, say for example 1, 2, 3, right? And again it is a permutation of the integers which will minimize. That means why we are going to assigning a permutation and combinations, why we are changing the permutation and combinations, because we have to minimize the total time taken by a job. Now terminology and notations used in case of sequencing problem. Number of machines, right? Keep in mind, say all of you, there are three types of problems. The first problem is n jobs, 2 machines, n job, 3 machines, n job, m machines, right? So these are the three different types of permutation and combination of the problems to be worked out in the sequencing technique. Along with me, are you
Yes,
getting
sir.
what I'm? Are you getting? It is very simple and practical problem. Very easily we can understand. And once we practice one example, then whatever theory component I explained, so very easily you'll understand. Right? After completing one example, again you come back and read out the theory. In a one read, you'll understand the theory component. Okay. Now the number of machines. Number of machines. It means the service facilities through which a job must pass before it is completed. So how many number of machines are there? Either 2 machines, 3 machines, or m machines. Processing order. As I said, the processing order has to be decided by the manager. How? We'll see. It refers to the order in which the various machines are required to be completing the job. It is very essential, processing order. If you start the processing the highest maximum time job, then what happens? The others jobs are in a idle, in a idle mode in an elapsed time, right? So machine is busy with only that job. Other jobs are again in an idle. Processing time T means the time required by each job on each machine. Processing time, that is T, small t means the time required by each job on each machine. A particular job on particular machine. Total time taken by a particular job on a particular machine, that is small t, and the summation of all small t becomes the capital T. The notation Tij will be denote the processing time required for ith job by ith machine. As I said, the small t of first, small t means time taken by the first job, first machine, second job, second machine, third job, third machine. Go on calculating the summation, then Tij, and Tij will be the total time taken. Right? Here I is equal to 1 to n and j is equal to 1 to m. If in case it is an n job and n machine problem. Idle time on a machine. Idle time on a machine. This is the time for which a machine remains the idle during the total elapsed time. The notation Xij will be used to denote the idle time. So what is the notation for the idle time? Xij. Xij, X is the idle time of ith machine and jth job, right? Or ith job and jth machine. You can use any terminology, right? So idle time, Xij notation is used to idle time, right? Next is total elapsed time. This is the time between the starting the job first and completing the last job. When you start the first job and when you complete the last job. So difference between this is called a total elapsed time, because that much time the machine is elapsed, idle. If exists, it will be denoted by the symbol T. No passing rule. No passing rule. Say, suppose machine A is busy, so second job directly you can switch to the machine B. No. Then from machine B to again machine A. No. Such passing of job is not permitted in sequencing technique. Keep in mind. Right? No passing rule is allowed. The rule means that the passing is not allowed. That is, the same order of job is maintained over each machine. In the same order, we have to process the job. Suppose you are processing on A and B is idle, so next job which is in queue cannot be transferred to machine B. No. No directly job is allowed to pass from one to another machine. If each of the job is to be processed through two machines, machine A and B in the order AB, then this rule means that each job will go machine A first and then machine B first. Right? If order is AB, then first of all the job has to go with A machine, then after processing of A machine, then it will be shifted to the B machine. Right? Assumptions. So there are some certain assumptions before we going to solve the sequencing problem. No machine can process more than one operations at a time. As I said, at a time, two multiple jobs are not permitted. Not permitted means machine cannot operate multiple job at a time. It is not multitasking, because the machine is made only for the particular purpose. So only that purpose is going to be served. No machine can be processed more than one operations or more than one jobs at a time. Only one operations. Assembly means assembly, coloring means coloring, painting means painting, polishing means polishing only, right? So no multiple operations are allowed. Each operation once start must be performed till completion. You may not leave the job in between, right? If you once you started the process, then that process has to be completed. Incomplete job cannot be removed from the machine. So each operation once started must be performed till completion. It is logically. It is logically. The job is an entity, that is I. Right? Even though the job represent a lot of individual part, no lot may be processed by more than one machine at a time. Say in some cases the job may have a lot of lots or a lot of parts. So again, that is also not permitted to process lot-wise or process part-wise, right? Each operation must be completed before any other operations. Here, the operations are tasks. whatever is the job, that will be treated as a task only. So at a time only one task is going to be performed. Each operation must be completed before any other operations. Yes, before going to complete the each operation must be completed before any other operations. Say before going to start any other job, the first job has to complete. Right? It should not be in a incomplete or partly complete, which it must procedure can begin, which it must. Okay, here what I want to say that the each job must be completed before start the other operations. Time interval for processing are independent of order. See, time interval is independent, means time may be vary from a job to job and machine to machine, which operations are performed. There is only one of each type of machine. There is only one each type of machine. That means here, what is again assumptions? The each type of machine is only one machine is there. There are no multiple machines. Only one machine of each type. Similar type of machines are not more than one. A job is processed as soon as possible, subject to ordering requirements. So jobs are processed in a ordering requirements, and this order we have to work out. The manager has to work out this order. All jobs are known and are ready to start. The manager or whatever the user, he must know the all jobs and it should be ready for the processing. Job should not be placed somewhere else in a warehouse, right? So because all jobs should be in a ready position, right? The time required to transfer job between machine is negligible. Here the assumption is very good assumption, because here definitely the one job we have to move to the another machine, from one machine to another machine. So the movement time is an negligible time that we can ignore, right? By default it has to be there. Solution for sequencing problem, or it is called a solution. N jobs and two machines A and B, all jobs processed in the order AB. This is the one kind of problem, right? N jobs and two machines. There are 5 jobs, 2 machines. N job is maybe a 5 job, 10 job, 100 job or 1000 job, doesn't matter. But there are n number of jobs. There are limitation of machine. Only 2 machines are there, not more than that. N jobs and 3 machines. Now here the one machine is increased. Again same. N may be 10, N may be 5, N may be 100. But how many machines are there? Only 3 machines are there. All job process in the order. But here again the ordering sequence is A, B, C. If there are 3 machines, the first job will be processed on A machine. Then if it is over, then it will move to the B machine. Then it will move to the C machine. Meanwhile, the next job which is in a queue will be assigned to A and B. Like this, the one by one the job is allocated to the machine for the processing purpose. 2 jobs and M machines, each job is to be processed through the machine in a prescribed order, which is not necessarily the same for both on machine. Now here how many 2 jobs and M machines? Problem with N jobs and M machines. This is the third type of problem. There may be N number of jobs and M number of machines to be used. Processing N jobs through 2 machines. See, the problem can be described as only 2 machines A and B are involved. Fine. Each job is processed in order A, B. That means in which order the job is to be processed, this order has to be decided by the manager before going to start the processing of the job. Each job is processed in order A, B, or maybe the order is B, A. Doesn't matter. The manager has to decide. But again, he has to apply the logic before going to assign the order, before going to decide the order. Because depending upon the nature of work, the job is to be processed. The exact or expected processing time, A1, A2, AN and B1, B2, BN are to be known. So how much time is to be taken on each and every machine by a job is already known, means it is already given. The solution procedure, right? So this is an algorithm. The same algorithm, if you try to read out after completion of problems, then very easily you will understand. Solution, first step is very important. Select the least processing time occurring in the list A1, A2, so on, AN. Select the least processing time, means the lowest job is to be selected from machine A as well as machine B. If there is a tie, both are same, then you can take randomly. Either the smallest processing time should be selected, right? If the least processing time is AR, select the Rth job. Select the Rth job first. If it is BS, do the Sth job last. I'll show you practically, don't worry. Huh? It's somewhat bit difficult to understand these notations and how it is to be done. There are now n minus 1 job, because once the order is decided out of 5 first job, then how many jobs are remain? 4 jobs are remain. That is n minus 1. Again n minus 1. 3 jobs are remain. Again 2 minus 1. Again 1. Like this. In case of ordering, if you decide the first order, how many jobs are remain? N minus 1 jobs are remain. So again n minus 1 job ordering has to be decided. Again, if it is decided the second job order, again n minus 1, that is 3 jobs are remain. Like this, the process has to repeat, to order the job n minus 1 time. And you have to continue till all jobs have to be ordered and the resulting order will be 100% minimize the elapsed time. This is the solution algorithm, right? Everybody has to understand this algorithm. Once again, you to solve the problem. Johnson's algorithm for n jobs and 2 machines. Right? There is one more author, right? The Johnson, he has developed one more systematic approach to solve the problem of n jobs and 2 machines. See now here the same thing. Examine the AI and BI. Means from AI means I from very 1 to n, job. BI is again 1 to m, machines. So identify the smallest one, minimum one from this job as well as machine. Identify the smallest one from the job or machine. If the minimum be a k, for some I is equal to k, do the process, the kth job first of all. So from AI, from job, if k is minimum, the kth job is processed. From B, if minimum is BR, from the B process or B machine, then the rth job is processed. So whichever is minimum, then that particular job is processed first, whichever is minimum. If there is a tie again, so rth and kth job, if the tie for the minimum occurs among the AI, select the job corresponding to the minimum BIs and process it first of all. Right? Select the job BI and process it first of all. If the tie for minimum occurs among Bs, select the job corresponding to the minimum of AI and process it in the last. And same process we have to repeat. Finally, by repeating this process, you get the step 4, that is the final total elapsed time between the jobs. Now, whatever algorithm I explained here, it's a bit difficult to understand, but now we'll solve the problem, and once we solve the problem, then you come back and just read the statements. Very easily you'll understand. Right? Now, note down the problem, all of you. Note down the problem. Come on, fast. All are with me?
Yes, sir.
So, note down the problem. This is the problem. I will explain this problem briefly by using this problem. Nothing more than this. If you understand this problem, the whole sequencing concept is understood. Okay, note down the problem. Shall I read or you note down the problem? All are with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please note down the problem. Come on, fast. I'll give 5 minutes. Once it is over, just remind me. Okay, I'll read out the problem. There are 5 jobs, each of which must go through the two machines A and B. How many machines are there? Two machines. Time of machine A and machine B. In the order AB. Yes, they have mentioned the order. In which order the job is to be processed? In the order of AB. First job, job 1 is on A. After completing A, job 1 will move to the machine B, that is B. So the same order we have to follow for all 5 jobs. Right? Now, the processing times are given below. So this is the processing time in hours, right? Jobs, machine A, machine B, jobs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs are there, and there are two machines. So it is a problem of two machinery and job. Determine a sequence of 5 jobs that will minimize the elapsed time. Determine the sequence of 5 jobs that will minimize the elapsed time T, right? And calculate the total idle time for the machine in this period. So we have to here find out the idle time, right? Okay. Now the solution. Shall I start? Shall I start the solution?
Yes, sir.
Note down
Yes,
in
sir.
your notebook. Note down the solution in your notebook. Solution. Okay. I will copy this table here as it is. Right? Come on. Repeat. Come on. Do fast. Repeat. Repeat. Yes, please. Once it is over, you remind me. Solution. Come on. Solution. So the same problem here I copied, right? Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Same problem here. I copied solution. This table I copied here. The jobs, machine A, machine B, and their processing time given in hours. Now, as a manager, you should have to decide the optimal sequencing order. Now, your role is to decide the optimal sequencing order. Right? Now, optimal sequencing order, we have to decide, right? Okay, how to decide the optimal sequencing order? Now, we'll explain. Come on. All of you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, you look at the job time, sorry, machine A. Look at the machine A. Machine A time. What is the machine A minimum time? What is the
One.
machine A? 1 is the minimum time. Am I right? So the 1 is the minimum time. So which job is to be processed first on machine A? Job number? Which one?
Two.
And 1. Very good. So job 2. So first my order is decided job 2. Right? Okay, job 2 is decided, job 2 is processed first, right? So this is over, job 2 is over, right? So I'll make a different color for this. Job 2 is over. Okay, now job 2 already decided by the manager now. Now from remaining, what is the minimum time? From remaining, what is the minimum time? From
Two.
remaining, what is the minimum time?
Two.
2. So this is the time taken by a machine B on job 1. Am I right? See the logic, what I am explaining. Now 2, this is the minimum time, right? So machine B requires 2 hours on a job 1. So the order of this job is here 1. Why? Anyone? Where I put the order? I'm processing last. Why I'm processing last? What is the logic behind this? Why I am processing last? Tell me. Because the order is decided A to B. So first of all, A has to be completed. First of all, A has to be completed and then it will switch over to the B. Then it will switch over to the B. Are you getting or not? Just
Yes,
apply the
sir.
logic. Just apply the logic. You will come to know. Think. Just think. Okay. So this is over. Now similarly from the remaining, right? Which is the minimum one? Which is the minimum one?
Three.
3 is the minimum
Three.
one, and this 3 is the machine A time minimum. So which after 2, which job is to be processed? 4. So next job is 4. Are you getting or not? If machine A, put it on order at left side. If machine B, put it at right side. Right? Okay, fine. So this is over. Now next order we have to decide. Okay, now from this remaining, this is and this is. What is the minimum one?
Four.
4. But which is the job? B.
B.
Am I right? B. So
Yes.
this fifth order has to be displayed here. Right? Fifth order has to be displayed here. Right? Okay. Now this is over. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting or not? It's very simple logic. Now only this job is remain for order. So that is why n minus 1. The same steps we are repeating n minus 1 to decide the order. Now from this, which is the minimum work?
7.
7. Right? Let it be 7 or 9, only one job is remain. So this will be the order of this. How much is the order now here? What is the job?
3.
Right? See, I will repeat. select the minimum time. If time belongs to A machine, put it left side order. If time belongs to B machine, put it right side. Why? Because the ordering process is A and B. Because it will start at 2, it will finish 4, right? And after it will start at 2, then it will switch to machine B, right? Like this, 4 job will be processed on A. Again, 4 will replace to B. So if you do this way, then 100% your elapsed time, right, will be reduced. Okay, once the order is decided, then now we have to calculate the minimum elapsed time. Now we have to calculate the minimum elapsed time. So note down the table. Note down the table. Note down the table. Okay, so this table you note down. I will show you this table because already the solution is with me. So this is the table. Now we calculate. Already decided. Now we have to calculate. Now calculate the minimum elapsed time. So I'll finish this. Okay. Chalo, come on, do fast. Come on, do fast. Very simple example. Are you understand this optimal sequencing order how I decided? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you are
Yes, sir.
logically present, then 100% you will understand. If you are physically present, you will not understand. So concentration is very important. The logical presence is very important. But nothing difficult, just a very simple logic we are applying because A and B, the minimum one, if it is A minimum, this side, if it is B minimum, this side, finish.
Done, sir.
Okay, now here job sequence, what job sequence, optimal job sequence we have decided here, am I right? Optimal job sequence we have decided here. So job sequence is, tell me the job sequence which is decided by the manager, 2, right? Then 4, 3, then 5, then 1,
Done.
right? Now, so this is the job sequence which is decided by the manager, right? Okay, now the which job we have to start first? The 2 job we have to start first, right? So for second job, okay, fine, because I need to refer these values also. The second job on machine A, how much time is taken? Come on. Second job, machine A, how much time is taken?
1.
1. Right? The second job, machine A, the 1 time is taken. But at what time it is started? 0. How much time taken? 1. So it will out at 1. Right? Similarly, the fourth job, come on, look at the table. The fourth job, how much time is taken on machine A? Fourth job, how much time taken on machine A? Come on. Fourth job, 3, right? Fourth job, 3. Fourth job, 3 hours taken on machine A. Say time out because the on machine second job on machine A takes 1 minute. So if this is in 1 and this is 3 plus 1 is how much? 4.
4.
Am I right? Similarly, third job, how much time taken on machine A? 9. So it will start at 4. It will start at 4, but it will finish at 9 plus 4. Are you getting or not? 9 plus 1, 13. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, again, it will fifth job. It will start at 13. It will start at 13. But how much time taken fifth job? 10. Am I right?
23.
23. Exactly right. But now suppose if of here it is 15, then what happen? Chalo. Think. Because the machine A is finished as 13, but the next job starts at 15. But are you going to start at 13 here? No. We are going to starting at what time? 15. Here in time should be 15. Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
See, this job is over 13, right? And next job will take place at 15. So in time should not be 13. Why? Overlapping. Job is overlapping. So that is why here instead of 13 in time should be 15. So if in time 15, that means how much time the machine becomes idle? 2 hours machine becomes idle. Getting or not? Getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let it be here 10. We'll see next case. Okay, 10 plus 20 is 23. Right? Now again here the 23 will in, and first job, how much time taken on machine A? 5. 5. So 23 plus 1 is how much?
28.
28. Allowed getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Is it to machine A? Now similarly we have to work out on machine B. Similarly we have to work out on machine B. So what is the in time? Tell me now. What is the in time? Come on.
0.
If you take 0, then what happened? If you take 0 time, this job is busy with A machine. This job is busy with A machine. So it is in time should not be 0, it should be 1. Why? Because timeout 1 means machine A is over. This job 2 is over on machine A, and now then only it will pass to machine B, no? Getting or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Now job 2 is over on machine A because job 2 is taking 1 hour time, and now it is over, processed by machine A. After processing the job by machine A, now it will over to machine B. Right? So in time is here 1. Now how much time, what should be the output, time out? Machine 2, B. How much? Come on, tell me.
7.
7, exactly right. Because 6 hours are taken on machine B, so 2 second jobs on machine B, 6 hours are required. Time in is 1, 6 hours is total taken, so it is 7. Right? Sir. हो बघून घेतोय, बघून घेऊन नंतर सही करतो. येस 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 बघतो मी बघतो. हो बघतो, हो बघतो सगळं करतो. येस सर, बघून घेतो. ऑनलाईन करताय का तुम्ही? ऑनलाईन आले की 4 दिवस आले त्याला. लास्ट टॅब आहे बघा, सिलेक्टेड पीएचडी सिलेक्टेड कॅन्डिडेट कोण आहे तिथं आहे लास्ट टॅब. हो बघून गेले की बघून घेतो. हो मी करून टाकलं, मी माझ्या सेक्टर करून टाकलं, बघून घेतो कॅबचं. हो करतो. Okay, sorry to disturb. Okay, uh, what is time 2? Sorry, job 2. Job 2 in is 1. Why? It is clear you. Now, how much time is taken by job 2? 6 hours. So, when it will finish at 7. Now, when it will start? Job 4, when it will start? Come on, tell me. Job 4.
7.
7. When it will finish? Come on.
15.
15. When it will start?
15.
When it will start? Come on.
15, sir.
15. So it will start 15. Because 13, this time is, okay, right, 15. 15. Now, when it will finish?
22.
22. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. 15, yes, 15 it will start, right. 15 it will start, right. So here how much? What is the job that? Job is 3. How much time?
7.
7 times 22 is there. Okay, what is start time?
22.
Not 22 now. This is the same I was trying to explain previously in machine A. Not 22 now. Look at the machine A. Machine A is busy till 23. And if you are starting 22 means it will be overlap on machine B. Right? So once this is over, then only it will start. Right? But it is not over. Still machine A is there. So this job has to wait. This job has to wait for how many times it has to wait? 1 hour. Are you getting or not? Machine B has to
Yes, sir.
wait. I cannot start machine B because the machine A is not free. Whatever job we are processing, the order is AB. Order is AB. In a sequence we are ordering. So unless finish the first job, you cannot start the next job. So still first job is in a process of machine A. So I cannot start here this job. Fifth job is already in process of machine A. Try to understand. Are you getting? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So it's already in process of machine A. So I cannot start same job on machine B. How can you start? You cannot. Am I right? So that is why here what should be the idle time is 23. Though it is finished machine B. Okay, next this third job is finished as 22, but fifth job is still it is in process. So I cannot process it. I cannot process it. Right? Okay. So in this case, machine B will remain idle. Right? Machine B will remain idle. But how many hours the machine B remain idle? Only 1 hour it will remain idle. Right? Okay. Now 23. Which job? Fifth job. Fifth job. 23. 4. Come on. At what time it will finish?
27.
7 it will finish. 27 it will finish. Am I right? Now the case is again. Fifth job finished at 27, right? And now the next job we are going to start on machine B. That is first job. First job is already in process of machine A, right? Already in process of machine A, that is 28. So here you can start the first job on machine B at what time? At what number? 28.
28.
Right. Right? And first job 28. That is how much time is taken? 2. So this much.
30.
30. Are you getting about? Now, if you look at this, the total time required to process all these 5 jobs on machine A and B will be how much? Will be how much? Who is having next lecture? Who is having next lecture? Come on, tell me who is having next lecture? You don't know the next lecture? अरे नेक्स्ट लेक्चर पूरा जाए
Sir,
okay I'll
advanced
finish
financial management.
I'll finish within 5 minutes not to take much time because it's specialized okay chalo right so the total time required to is how much 30 hours right and what is the elapsed time What is the elapsed time? Come on, tell me. What is the elapsed time? Here we are getting machine B elapsed time is 1. Here, in this case 1, because 0 start, finish at 1, but B cannot start at 0, so B machine is waiting. B machine is waiting. How many hours? 1 hour. So this is 1 hour waiting time, 20 to 23. This is also 1 hour waiting time. Again 27 to 28. This is also 3 hours waiting time. That means the here the now see total time taken, that is T, capital T will be 30 hours. Understand? Total time is this 30 hours. Okay. Now total idle time for machine A, or machine A idle time is how much? Machine A idle time is how much? 28 to 30, because the machine B is processing 28 to 30. The meanwhile, what happened? The machine A is idle. Till to complete the entire process, the machine A is idle for 2 hours. Why? Because here the job is processing on machine B. First job is processing on machine B, and that is 28 to 30. 28 to 30, that means 2 hours it will take time to complete the entire process. So meanwhile, the machine A is idle. Are you agree? Machine is idle, that is 2 hours. This is the total time of machine A idle is 2 hours. Total time for machine B idle is, as I said, B machine. Because the A machine is started at 0, it will take 1 hour time, but immediately we cannot, until and unless finish the job too, we cannot shift to the machine B. That is why the 1 hour is idle time. Right? That is 0 to 1. That is 0 to 1. Then next is 22 to 23, 1 hour. Again 27 to 28. Right? This 1 hour. So total 3 hours idle time is there. So machine A idle time is 2 hours and machine 3 idle time is 3 hours. So total 5 hours idle time is there. This is what the end of the problem. Understand? Now, here the one more problem, the similar types of problem is there, so you can work out on your own. Right? You can work out on your own. If you work out this problem, you will understand the sequencing. Sequencing part is over. It is not a separate chapter, it is a part of one chapter. Only 2 points are there. Right? So sequencing is over. The solution, with solution, shall I send it with solution or without solution? Shall I send this word file with solution or without solution?
With solution, sir.
With
Solution. I want to take the efforts.
Solution, sir.
Solution on. So you copy it. Don't copy. Try to solve the problem independently, right? So that you'll understand. Okay. Today I will stop here. Next lecture we'll go for the another points of decision science, right? Sure. Shall I leave the meeting? Shall I leave the meeting? Any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure. And once it is over, I will send you the MCQ questions by the end of this week only. I will keep on sending the MCQ questions. Right?
Yes, sir.
Just-